Hey, hey, hey. Everybody's piling in there. Hey, hey. Star Sapphire, Miranda, Pam and Indy, Haley, Tommy. Welcome, 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 guys. What's up, Hippie? And Donna and Sarah. And user lots of numbers. Lisa and Libby and Heather and Kristen. Unicorn Love. Jay, what's up, man? The ugliest hat. Hello. Autumn, Miranda. Hey, I'm glad you made it this time. Ashy, welcome. Sharon, welcome. Ariel, welcome. LJ Rap, welcome here. Lucky Archer, good to see you. Chef Jessica, welcome. Yep. Care Bears won today. It was an overwhelming Care Bears win. Mary, welcome. First time live. Good to see you. Sarah and Waffles is with us as well. Aunt Missy? I actually have an Aunt Missy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Kayla, good to see you. Hey, Heather, thank you for the sunnies. I appreciate that. Appreciate them sunnies. NYC, thank you so much for the roses. Appreciate that. You like them Care Bears? They're actually like Zero Cares Bears. Zero Cares Bears. Chuck, good to see you again, man. Member of the storm there. Uh-oh. Surely we're not freezing up. No, don't tell me we're freezing up. Don't tell me that. We can't be freezing up again. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that today. No way. Need more candy? Watch the first half of the pod. She's the best. Yeah, she did a great job. I don't know if you guys have seen user 906373, lots of other numbers. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. I don't know if you guys have seen part 2 of the podcast yet. Have you seen that? Part 2 is out now. Came out Sunday, and it is out on YouTube and all the podcast channels. And it's good. It is better than part 1. Chuck, you watch both? Yeah, cool, man. Thank you. Kathy Joe, welcome. Donna from Scotland, good to see you here. Yeah, Angel got a haircut. The long hair's gone here. Got the summer cut rocking here. I think I did it too early, though, because the day I got it cut, it was like 30 degrees, and I walked outside from the barber shop, which today is my barber/friend's birthday, Duncan. If you're watching, brother, happy birthday to you. It was very cold, and I didn't realize how much long hair made a difference until I walked out in that cold, and I was like, oh, shit. The back of my head be very cold, and it's been kind of chilly since then, so I think I did it too soon. I think that's all there is to it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I looks younger. Yeah, you know what? We were talking about that because somebody, I think it was on YouTube. Might have been TikTok. I'm not sure. Somebody said that they were trying to figure out how old I was when they saw me with Candy Thunder because I looked much older, and they were thinking maybe it was just the gray in my beard. And I said, I actually think it might be the longer hair. Made me look older because I have it cut short now, and it does. It took 10 years off my life and my face. Hey, Heather, thank you for the hat and mustache. I appreciate that. If only mom. Thank you for the mic. Appreciate that. Sarah and Waffles, you deleted your comment where you disagreed with me because your notifications kept blowing up. Hey, it is absolutely okay to disagree with me. I think that's something that every time I see someone apologize when they're disagreeing with me, I'm like, don't apologize. Like we all have our own opinions that are shaped by our unique lives, and nobody's lived the exact same life as me. So I don't expect you to agree with my worldview 100% of the time. Yeah. So hi, I'm wearing a hat and there's a microphone right there. Sorry about that. This shirt is from 9 Line Apparel. It is a limited design, and I think it's 9 Line. They do some really, really cool pop art inspired limited designs. So check out 9 Line Apparel. They have some really, really good ones. Hey, Heather from Missouri. I am in Missouri as well. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Dawn in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. Welcome. Emily from the UK. GB. Welcome. Heather, thank you for the crown. I appreciate that. Cass, you love the podcast. Listen to it on the drive to work every Wednesday. Awesome. Man, yeah, Wednesdays with the compilations that we release, Wednesdays are a big download day for the podcast side of things. Mo Dude, it's good to see you. North Carolina, Piper and KC, hey-o. Not far from me. If I yell loud enough, you might be able to just hear me. We got London, we got UK. Yeah, we have a lot of Ontarians here. It's the Schitt's Creek love. I think it's what it is. We love the Canadians. Loves. You've been missing a podcast, Gabrielle? You had no idea? Yes. Podcast is monthly-ish. We're trying to get into a more consistent rhythm with it now, but it is monthly-ish. And the last one that I did with Candy Thunder, and it was a 2-hour session. So at the end of editing, we had 2 hours worth of content. So we busted it up into 2 parts. Both parts are out now on YouTube and on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, blah, 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 all of the other ones. And you can use the Linktree link in bio to get to all of them. For some reason, Apple isn't showing it in the UK store for whatever reason, and we don't know why that is. But you can still check it on YouTube, on the tubes, and listen to it there. It is a good time. Betty Boop, thank you so much for the nachos and the fire. Fiery nachos? Yeah. Fish, it's the hair. I got a haircut. I don't have the long hair anymore. I got my summer do going on here. Amanda in Tennessee. Awesome. I love Tennessee. I would move there if I could. Emily, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for creating the scale. It helps me with my life decisions. We're actually going to talk about that later on. It's one of the talking points that I have. Oh, man. Yeah, I think Candy Thunder, the general consensus now is that she needs to come on more often. Betty Boop with the corn in the microphone. Thank you. Becky with roses. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good vibes from Missouri. Hey, you don't have to send them very far. We're down in the southwest corner here. New Zealand. Heck yeah. We even got some cake. Holy cow, and some Louisiana. Shoot, yeah. Look at you guys. You guys are awesome. Cloud bread. Didn't know that was a thing. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm not allowed to leave for Tennessee, Curtis says. Yeah, I can do it remote. It's just fine. Welcome to the stream today, guys. We have some really good stories for you that Tony is 100% responsible for. So if they suck, blame him. I'm just kidding. He's giving the side eye here. Before we dive into stories, wanted to alert you that there is a rebrand coming from Reddit Said It to Dusty Thunder. And you'll see that at some point here soon. We don't have a rollout date yet. I think I showed you guys in the last stream, but just in case you didn't see it, this is what the new stuff is going to look like. We're going to have, we're keeping the ascon scale, but it's going to look completely different. And this is going to be the new look. We're going to be, our channel names will be changing over to Dusty Thunder as well. So that will change some links, but don't worry, we'll keep you well informed throughout this process and make sure we make it as painless as possible. So that is the new look that is coming. We just don't know exactly when. There's a lot of assets to create, right? Like transitions and openers and even the ascon scale animation. That's going to change to use these planets here, which this is badass. I love it. I love that we've got the asconaut in the mix now. Love it. Jenny, thank you so much for the roses. Tessa, thank you for the chili. Barbara for the rose. Appreciate that. Stephanie for the rose. Christina with the cat paws. Meow. Barbara, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Carrie for the rose. Oh, Nisi, more Candy Thunder, she says, with the lightning bolts. By the way, if this is your first time here, lightning bolts are how we show love. So make sure you throw them lightning bolts up. I don't know if we will see Candy Thunder in the chat today or not, but if you do see her pop up, be sure you throw a whole bunch of lightning bolts her way. Betty, thank you for the panda. Appreciate that. Hydro Slime L, thank you for that. Wow. Got lots of roses here. Becky, thank you so much. Queen Stephanie, thank you. Nadine, thank you so much. KC Lee throwing up them lightning bolts. Yeah. One quick note before we start this story about the Candy Thunder podcast part 2. At the very end, and this is something we've started doing with a lot of videos now, even the normal TikTok post videos, there's a good chunk of bloopers at the end of part 2. So especially if you get to watch it on YouTube and see the bloopers as well as hear them, there's some good ones in there. So we started keeping some, if there are really good bloopers while creating a specific post, make sure you watch to the very, very, very end of the posts from now on, because there'll be like a millisecond of a black frame and you think, oh, it's over. And then boom, then it's on to my screw ups. Tom, good catch, man, because while we were talking about creating this Dusty brand, it kept sticking in my head, Pure Country, and how they had Dusty in the script on the stage in like the neon kind of lit up look. So that was one of the inspirations that fueled this thing. So good catch. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Thank you guys for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Lots of love going on here. Leanne, thank you for the taco. Hey, March. Wow, Heather, thank you. Yeah, it's getting to spring, thus the short hair. Bettina, thank you for the chill. We're going to dive in here. We're going to dive in on an AITA story, and we've got a follower submission for you. You guys ready? Are you ready? Hey, Chicago. Welcome, Annie. Leland Knight. Yeah, this Zero Cares Bears shirt is from Nine Line, and we actually had people vote on which shirt I was going to wear for live today, and Care Bears was an overwhelming victor here. Overwhelming. Ionella, thank you for the rose. Sarah, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Stephanie, thank you for the panda. And Queen Stephanie for the mic. Thank you. All right, let's rock and roll here. We've got am I the astronaut for telling my best friend she's wrong for sleeping with her summer fling? My 25 female best friend and I, 26 female, have gotten super close over the last few years as we went to college together and have shared the same job twice. Totally didn't think it was going to be the same job they shared twice. Here recently, she's been talking to me about her love life, and I have had many opinions on it, but at the end of the day, she's an adult and can make her own decisions. Anyways, during the summer of 2022, she went up north to obtain her master's degree. While she was gone, she had a summer fling in which her and this guy would hook up every now and then, but it never got serious. Once she came back into town, she started seeing this guy, let's call him Jim, and they hit it off immediately, going on dates, hanging out every day, etc. I was so convinced that she genuinely liked him, which is rare for her. She never seems to be able to connect with people. So here's where the story gets sticky. She has family that lives up north in the same area that she went to school for her master's degree. So about a week ago, she visits with her family, and you guessed it, hooks up with her old summer fling. Now, she had been telling me for a while that she was afraid she might hook up with him when she went to visit. As much as I tried to warn her against it, she did it anyways. She said it shouldn't be a big deal because her and Jim are not yet in a committed relationship. That thought process didn't last very long, though, because she ended up confessing to Jim that she slept with her old summer fling, and Jim was pissed. All caps, pissed. Pissed. I think that's how it's supposed to be said. He apparently isn't talking to her at the moment, and she called me crying, saying she really messed up big time. I said to her, well, I tried to tell you over and over again that it was a bad idea to even go see your fling, but you completely brushed me off. She scolded me and told me I was a shit friend for attacking her when she obviously already feels bad enough. I've been told her that I can come off kind of rude even when my heart is in the right place, so I don't know if I'm the asshole for this. All right. What do we think? Oh, it's Jazzy? Oh, yeah, somebody took care of you there. Original poster. Sorry, I forget. We say it so much that I just forget to explain it anymore. Donna, thank you so much for the Panda Bear. Barbara for the telescope. Thank you. Appreciate that. Linda with a hand wave. Thank you. What do you guys think here? Is the friend the asshole for, I guess, doing the I told you so? NTA 1.5. Wow. What? Remember, one's the worst. Oh, wow. There's lots of feathers. A feather flock coming on there, Ronnie. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we've got Dot. The username is Dot. Sent the fire. Thank you. Donna with the rose. Christina with the golden mic. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Oh, 1 is the worst, and 4 is the least amount of asshole, remember. So, Stephanie with Tiny Diney, thank you. He's such a cute little dinosaur. He's like Olaf, but a dinosaur. Sorry, Navy Thunder has been in frozen mode lately. Cordy Court. Oh, Chuck 84 says NTA. Cordy Court says NTA. Good friend. She's just sour about her poor decisions. Emily, thank you for the roses. A whole bushel. Thank you. NTA. Love the honesty. Good friends are honest, and that's all she was doing. That's kind of where my head was at here. Leanne says a 3. You know what? Let's pull up our old friendly scale here. Hey, Ryan. Thank you for the air dancer, man. Appreciate that. The flailing inflatable tube guy. I can do that dance too. I can do it. I can do that. Everybody, if you see Ryan Klaus in chat here, throw him some lightning bolts. This is my brother-in-law. That's Candy Thunder's brother. And we'll definitely pull him up on the stream or for a podcast. He's definitely we're going to force him to be a podcast guest at some point here. All right. So we've got the scale up here just to reference. Sarah, thank you for the panda. Appreciate that. Ascon 1 is there's no way you should have done that, and you're a terrible human being. Ascon 2 is you definitely shouldn't have done that, but it doesn't make you a terrible person. 3 is you should have approached that differently, and 4 is you could have approached that differently. Maybe you're an asshole, maybe you're not. We got some 3s, we got some 4s. Told you so, not needed. So I guess that's the question here is at this point, if a friend came to you and you had tried to warn them away from making what you both know is a shitty decision, and they went ahead and did it anyway, and then she was upset about the consequences of that decision, you as a bestie, would you just console them because you know that they know it was stupid and they know that you told them and warned them away from it? Or is this a boundary that you create because you're like, hey, you asked for my opinion. You asked for my guidance on this. I tried to give it to you and you didn't respect it. And now this is what happens when you didn't. So don't come crying to me. I guess it's a matter of what kind of friend you are and what your friend needs in that moment. You cannot agree, but be a supportive friend. Yeah. Casey Lee. NTA, the friend is being more of an ascon. Yeah. Was this the first time? That would change things. I'm going to go with no. Probably wasn't. A true friend tells it like it is, and therefore you after the bomb goes off, but doesn't lie. Yeah. If I'm your BFF, then it's my job to hold up the mirror, even though I love you. Okay. Phil O'Brien, we lunched at the same place today? Did we really? Were you lunching at Blackstone Gastropub? Which is so good, by the way. If you're ever in the Southwest Missouri area, Blackstone Gastropub, you have to try it. Hey, we got 2 Dusties here. What's up? Hey, Rach, welcome. I'm sorry that you've been having a rough day, but come join us. Let's hear about other people having rougher days, and you can feel a little bit better about your day. Hopefully. So is it the real friend thing to hold up the mirror and be like, look, bitch, this is what you've done wrong. You're going to learn from it. You're going to not make that mistake again, or to coddle them. Dread Zone, I don't care if we were friends for 30 years. I tell it like it is. JC, thank you for tagging us in a post. We appreciate that. And we'll talk about that a little bit later here too. AR, thank you for the podcast love. Appreciate that from Singapore. Awesome. Tell it how it is. Tell it how it is. Real friends offer real words. Yep. I would agree with that. I think it depends on the friend dynamic and it depends on the situation. It's not like OP's friend had lost a loved one here. They made a stupid decision. If if they truly just needed the comfort and that's all they needed right then I'd say yeah, just save your ammo and just comfort them right now. There's a lot of stuff in this that is a head scratcher because she said she was worried she would go sleep with her fling and then went and slept with her fling. So either she has zero self-control, and if that's the case, then her relationship was probably doomed in the first place. Bold compassion has many layers. I would agree with that, Philip. Say what you mean what you say. You're not a friend if you're coddling them. Chunky chick, I did cut my hair. Check it. I'm going to end up doing this a few times today. So, yeah, I've got the summer dew rocking here. And I did it too early because it's still cold. And it's going to snow tomorrow. So I'm like, I should have waited. Should have waited just a little bit longer. But the new system is going to be, I'm going to start growing it out long in fall and go long fall, winter. And then when it gets hot in spring, I'll cut it off. Did it a little bit too soon this time, but that's okay. Apparently it makes me look younger, so that's good. Friend obviously likes a bit of drama, and OP has fed into it because she knows her. Interesting. Karen, thank you for the cap. Appreciate that. One hand, you got to pick your battles. Yeah. Hey, Sarah's here. It's good to see you. Rach cried over a horrible test score and getting a 0 on an assignment I worked on for 4 days. You know, I think one of the battles with courses and with grades and projects and that kind of thing, that I think you get surprised about as you go is that if something bad happens like that, chances are that that you can always do something to make up for it with a professor. So developing those relationships with professors so that you can make up for any off days that come up, that is handy. Tiffany, thank you for the TikTok. Rosemary, thank you so much for the ASMR. Appreciate that. And Jen with the balloons. Appreciate that. More cloud bread from Jay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey there, Tate the DM. Gabrielle says, some friends want honesty, others want support. Regardless, it depends on what type of relationship you have. Yeah, I guess that's what it all comes down to. No matter what, OP's heart was in the right place, and she was trying to protect her friend from the rip. So she was trying to protect her from the very beginning. And I think if anything, you know, she feels like her friend didn't value her guidance, and that, you know, she was a little offended by that, and then did the don't come crying to me because I tried to help you avoid this and you just brushed me off because you wanted the fling. I am surprised that OP's friend, after knowing she had no self-control and went and had the fling, but said that she wasn't in a place yet where this wasn't okay in her relationship with Jim, came back and told Jim. This is kind of a glutton for punishment thing. Renee, doing tests for a training class. We didn't even finish. Oh, no. It's good to see you here, though. Rosemary, thank you for the chocolate strawberries and the pie. Ooh, nice. Well, thank you for the roses. Rosemary, for more pie. I do need more pie. I need more pie. Irish, thank you. Thank you for the, so we're still repping the Chiefs here today. We just do it in cup fashion. And there have been some questions about this cup. I think it's just from, so it's simplemodern.com. But I think they just have it in the online pro shop too. Jay, thank you for the big love. Appreciate that, man. Okay. So I think where we're at is that, OP is not an asshole here. She was doing what she felt like was the right thing to do for her friend, and she knows her friend better than we ever could. Star Sapphire, subscribing for the first time. Welcome to the storm. Appreciate that. Welcome. Lightning bolts for Star Sapphire. OP was doing what she thought was the right thing for her friend there. So no ascon activity for us right now. Jay, thank you for the music. I appreciate that. Like the shirt, Paul, thank you very much. Sounds like she was self-sabotaging, Ronnie. Yeah, I would agree with that. It is when you know that there's a risk of something and you just go ahead and do it anyway. I mean, she took the come what may path and then came back and came clean about it. That's the funny part. She's like, it's okay because the relationship isn't that serious yet. And then she comes back. She's like, I'm so sorry. I cheated, Jim. I cheated with my summer fling. I knew it was going to be a problem. Whatever. Yeah. If I were the friend in this instance, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, yeah. Yeah, are you sad? Are you sad because you knew something was wrong and you did it anyway? Yeah, that's a sad story. That's very sad. Good gravy. Okay, so before we dive into the next one, I want to pick your brain for just a second. You saw the new Dusty Thunder brand that is coming out. We have not designed swag to go with that brand yet. And aside from the obvious like new Dusty Thunder logo and astronaut swag, what else would you guys like to see? What kind of swag would you like to see? Cordy Court, the lightning bolt is just for love. That is because I'm Dusty Thunder and because we have lightning bolts in pretty much everything that we do. It's like a heart for us. Should be an SNL skit. Yeah, that would be funny. Tank tops and stickers. Leanne. Thunderhole shirt. Yeah, tank tops and stickers. I think that would be good. Jacqueline, the voice that you're talking about is 100% intentional. I have a Moira Rose it's a character that just comes out for whatever reason. Beanies, hats, keychain stickers, cool. Okay, so Thunder shirts with lightning bolts, fanny pack. Maybe it's an ascon bag. Moira Rose, yes. That is the Moira Rose voice. Coming to you from sunny, overcast, Southwest Missouri. Mix it with Candy and Dusty together. You know what? Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be very cool. Okay, so more smaller stuff. That is good to keep in mind. We don't know for sure what we're going to be doing yet with it. I did have an idea though. If I can actually get my hands on some real red flag confetti, I think having that available, even if we just do like little bits and throw it in with other swag, would be so cool because people have been talking about wanting real red flag confetti here lately to just like throw in random situations. Whenever someone does something that's a red flag, you just, hey, currently sleepwalking. Hey, you're in KC. Nice. Heck yeah, I'm not too far from you there. Nisi says yes, red flags. Yes, red flags. Red flag confetti all the way. Marshall, I'm just a couple of hours outside of KC. Clarksville, Tennessee. It's good to see you, Retha. Cordy Court, yes, we would have to put confetti in the fanny pack. Definitely. It's got to be a red fanny pack then, too. And it's just got to have some kind of like, in case of emergency, pull zipper. And then not even put it in any kind of bag or anything. It's just loose in there. So you can just grab and poof. Yes, I'm game. We'll definitely have some of the astronaut stuff. The Care Bear shirt, Tanya says, cares given. And I keep doing that. Keep hitting the microphone with the bill of my cap. It goes from min to max and it's on the minimum. So it's like 0 cares given. It's the no cares bear. Ascon scale t-shirt to rank your relatives. Ooh, what if we were able to create an Ascon scale shirt where you could like move the meter on there? Something, and that scale is going to change a little bit, not the contents of it, but the look of it. Because of course we'll have the astronaut here. Hey, Jana. Hi, howdy, neighbor. Des Moines, Iowa there. Western New York, welcome. Chunky Chick tumblers with all manner of swag. I dig it. Get a P.O. box. We'll send you the flag confetti. I'm down. Deep South design. Okay. We need to direct message about that. The Chiefs gear is right here. We're in the off season now. I'm still wearing the Chiefs gear, but for today, it was actually viewers' choice. We went through some choices, in today's story where people voted for what shirt I should wear, and the Care Bears won. Care Bears won. Yep, the hair is short now. Lightning bolt shaped beard comb. I'm down for that. Completely branded. All right, we are going to dive into the next story here to keep it spicy. Keep it spicy. Did I ever get my red flag robe? I haven't yet. We had a message about it, and it was like a cloak, like somebody was offering to make a red flag cloak. We haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. Someday. Fidget pop. That would work. I'll put the red flags in there like packing peanuts. That would be awesome. Hey, Sandy from Australia. First time watching live. Welcome. Welcome. It's good to see you guys. All right. We're going to dive into the very next story here. And this one is from Reddit, actually. Not a follower submission. This one is, am I the thunderhole for keeping the birth of my daughter a secret? Wowza. My husband, 26 male, and I, 25 female, had welcomed our daughter, Jeannie, in mid-December. We both come from overbearing families, and both of us have complicated relationships. Wow, that was a hard one. I may have to blooper that one out. And both of us have complicated relationships with our in-laws. This is why we preferred to elope privately instead of having a big wedding like we wanted. My mother is very controlling, and throughout my pregnancy did stuff that annoyed me, such as throwing a baby shower I was never aware of and inviting people and relatives I didn't even know existed, instead of people I knew, and then blamed me for not being out there. My mother-in-law is the same way, except she hates my guts. Okay, we'll go ahead and do this now. She has done many things in the past that have gotten on my nerves, such as showing a cream-colored dress and telling me she'd wear it to my wedding, comparing me to my husband's ex-girlfriend, and making fun of my weight during my pregnancy. She sounds lovely. During my third trimester, around 8 months, my husband and I decided to keep the delivery private and just have a gathering for everyone to meet the baby a few days later. Understandable. During my labor, when people called or texted, we made up excuses such as being in a work meeting or driving on I-95, and there's no signal. On December 14th, I had my little girl, and she is just adorable. 3 days after, we decided to throw a party for everyone to meet her. Once everyone was there, we brought out our daughter and got mixed reactions. Though most were happy, the women on my side were not. They claimed that if something traumatic happened, what would we have done, and basically shamed me for keeping it to myself. This is the same reaction we got from both sides when we eloped. Moments like these should be celebrated together, and it is only robbing our family of precious moments like this, my aunt said. Oh, that's a quote. I got to redo that one in the Moira voice here. Moments like this should be celebrated together, and it's only robbing our family of precious moments like this, my aunt said. That was better, right? Then it went off board to how we would be as parents. They made snarky comments about us partying too much and how both of our salaries would not be able to provide. My husband is a lawyer and I'm a third grade teacher, so our income in total would be able to support Jeannie. Then went on about how horrible the parenting techniques that I've read and talked about implementing in the past are. My husband had enough and kicked them out. Currently, my mother and mother-in-law are blasting me on social media for denying them access to see our child. We've tried to make amends with them so many times, but failed. Am I the asshole for not telling my family? Wowza. Okay. Thoughts here? Thoughts? Did she not tell anybody that she was going into labor? Agility with Amanda says. If you don't want family there, loop them in. This was my thought here. I'm with you. I'm with you on this one. Renee says, Lord LOL, I don't understand why people get hung up about stuff that's already done. Jade, oh God, NTA, go no contact with everyone. Emily says NTA, divorce the extended family. NTA, lots of red flags there. Nisi says, go hubby. Chunky Chick says, she said, while in the precious moment. Precious moments, yeah. Lots of NTAs. Ascon zeros. She's a third grade teacher. She always knows how to handle children. Good point. Jen B, subscribing. Thank you so much for being a member of the storm. Appreciate that. Oh, okay. So Tara says, even if she said she didn't want people there, they would have shown up if they are boundary stompers. Chuck84, thanks for resubbing. Appreciate it, man. Welcome to the storm again. Jen B with the auto renewal. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Stephanie says, I say NTA if there was a possibility that people would show up unwanted at the hospital. Okay, so that's that's the differentiating factor here. And that's where my brain was immediately like, and I think Candy Thunder and I might have done this. We might have said, this was also during like a COVID time where you could only have one person there anyway. But I think it was our plan all along that you want it to be private and intimate. And also you want the ability to be able to work through any kind of complications that arise there. So, keeping it small and keeping it private is completely okay. And I think most families are going to be accepting of that and understanding, and they will give you the space that you want. And it's just okay, let us know when we can come meet her. And that's it. But if everybody here is feeling like this family is so overbearing that they would have just ignored that, even if OP and her husband came out and said, this is our plan, we're going to enjoy this intimate moment. And then when we're ready for you guys to meet her, which will be, once we get home, we'll let everybody know. If everybody here thinks that they would have just stomped on that boundary and showed up at the friggin' hospital, then that wouldn't have worked. And them lying and making excuses then makes sense. It's the lying and excuses on this that I have the problem with, because you should have been able to be completely truthful. And then if you had, you wouldn't have been in question as an asshole at all. Landry says they would stomp over the boundaries, and that may be true. That may be true. However, I think if they're going to stomp all over the boundaries anyway, don't give them ammo by lying about it. You know what I mean? And maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there because they might have showed up at the hospital. But you can also say that, I think, can't you request to the medical staff that like you're not taking visitors? And even tell your family that too. Be like, look, just to make sure that everybody understands. Chunky Chick, thank you for resubbing. Appreciate that. I think you could notify medical staff and say that you're not taking visitors, and then communicate that to the family too, and be like, hey, it's going to be just us until we get out of the hospital, and then you can meet her. We've relayed this to medical staff too, so don't try just showing up, because it's not going to work. I don't know. I feel like the lying about it in this kind of fuels the fire. I understand why they did it, but I think that kind of just furthered the playing the game. Always skeptical of someone who has a problem with everyone. That does kind of seem to be the case here, doesn't it? You can put a password on your maternity room, but if you have to do that, why tell them? Yeah. A Karen would show up anyway. You're probably right, Sarah and Waffles. Tasha, I feel like they just wanted total privacy, no phone calls, no text, nobody updating social medias. Yeah, but I think, man, I don't know. I obviously have an awesome family. Candy Thunder has an awesome family, and whatever we said we were going to do there, they would completely respect. So maybe that's the case. She just has a crazy family. It's the lying about it is the one part of this that I don't like, and that might get them on the ascon scale. But they clearly had reasons for doing it, so I'm not going to put them there. Would you put them on the ascon scale? Oh, my chat's locking up here. Let me see what I can get rid of. I'm going to close that, close that, close that, close that, close that, close that, close that. Are we going to work now? There we go. Yep. Angie, thank you for the rose. Missy, thank you so much for the hand hearts. Appreciate that. Angie for the rose again. NTA was a choice made based on past experiences. Yup. Okay. Heather J says no NTA. Landry, nope. Becky, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Star Sapphire, NTA as well. Oh, there you go, Dread Zone. Hubby can use the law and get a restraining order if he wanted to go there. But good. Gloria, thank you for the love yous. Fish thinks it was white lies. It definitely was. I mean, it was a functional lie. It had a purpose, but they didn't lie. They just didn't give them any info. No, but they did. They lied about where they were. They were saying that they were at work or driving on I-95 instead of telling them what was going on. But still, they had their reasons for doing that. And it would suck to have family that's so overbearing that you had to do that. Maybe a 4 at most. That's where I'm at. But I'm not going to put them on there because they obviously have the reasons for it. Anna, thank you for the rose. Bettina, thank you for the worsty worst. Appreciate that. Kara says NTA as well. Look at that. It was justified. Justified. Good on hubby for kicking him out, though. And of course, both moms in this scenario are taking to social media. Can you believe that she's not letting us see our grandbaby? That's terrible. We did nothing wrong. Sure, moms. Sure. Yammy, thank you for the taco. Queen Stephanie, thank you for the corn. Sending lots of corn my way. Mad Drummer. Thank you for the tiny. Appreciate that. All right. We're going to dive into the next story here. We're diving right in. We're doing it. We're going for it. This one is from Reddit as well. And this one is, am I the astronaut for double dipping my bagel in the cream cheese container? I mean, look at the quality of problem between this story and the last story. Like, if this is the hardest thing that this OP is going to face in a day, then they've got the kind of quality problems that I want in life. I, 22 female, come from a small town, so my public high school was on the lower end of middle class. Graduating class of 27. That's a little school. So we didn't have the biggest budget, and most of the time we didn't have clean silverware due to being understaffed. I figured out a way to eat a bagel in the morning by just breaking it into pieces and dipping/scooping it into individual cream cheese containers. That's how I've always eaten bagels going forward, because it's just more convenient and less messy. Anyways, I just moved into an apartment with my boyfriend, 21 male, 2 months ago. For context, we've been together for a total of 6 months. And when he saw me eat a bagel at home for the first time, he hinted at how weird and kind of gross it is that I double dip into the cream cheese container. But I rebutted that it was only us two living in the apartment, and certainly the only two using the cream cheese. But the longer I continued to do it, the more mad he got with me, saying how he doesn't want my germs in his cream cheese, or it's highly unsanitary when people double dip. But I argued that we kiss multiple times a day, so what difference does it make? He made me feel so bad about it that I bought 2 cream cheese containers this morning, one that I can double dip in, and one he can use. But when he saw that I bought 2, he flipped out on me, stating that I'm being selfish, and if I just change the way I apply cream cheese to my bagel and eat bagels the way normal people do, then we wouldn't be arguing every day. I don't know why he's getting so mad about this and why it's such a big deal. Any insight? Am I the asshole? Edit. He doesn't work and is living on his savings at the moment. He's trying to find a job, but is being kind of picky with employment and has minimal experience. Also spends most of his time playing video games on his PC. That explains a lot. With that being said, I've been buying mainly all the groceries for the past few weeks, minus little things like his deodorant or hair gel when he runs out, and I genuinely don't mind doing so while he figures out his employment. I work full-time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. I eat a bagel for breakfast every morning, so I go through a cream cheese container within a week or so. And yes, I break a piece of bagel off, dip, eat, and repeat. I do not bite off a piece and re-dip. Thank you all for the feedback. Okay, first thing I see when I look up is Jessica. I'm a dipper. There's a lot more than the bagel and the dipping going on here. A whole lot more. How is she selfish when she compromised and she buys all the groceries? That is a very good point. User 83101197899053. Queen Bee says, married 15 years and 5 kids and my hubby won't share cutlery. It's just a him thing. Okay, so let's address that for a second. Because people have weird isms. They have idiosyncrasies. And whenever you're living with someone for the first time, as young as they are too, there's a learning process. There's a painful learning process to living with someone, getting used to someone doing things that are a way that's different than the way that you ever did them. It's also a learning process in growing and accepting people. Stephanie, thank you for subbing and being a member of the storm. Appreciate that. But she's not even double dipping. That's the funny part there. She's not. She's breaking a piece off and then scooping it in. So it's not double dipping. It's just dipping. It's not double dipping, dude. Just dipping. Not double dipping. Just dipping. That's like a new, that'll be our version of the gave me cookie, got you cookie, new girl thing. Not double dipping, just dipping. It's not about the dipping. It's not about the bagel. It's not about the cream cheese. It is about him getting used to someone doing something a different way than mommy always did it, because it's the first time he's living with someone. And at the age that they're at, they just haven't learned this painful process yet. Lauren, thank you so much for subscribing and being a member of the Storm. But also, I think Homeboy's taking out his frustrations about not being employed on the cream cheese or on her dipping. That's just the thing that he's picked out. I mean, if she was in fact double dipping and like getting her hand all in there, getting it all nasty, then she still would have solved the problem with the second cream cheese container. She went above and beyond for him to give him his own sanitary thing. It's just a weird idiosyncrasy that bugs him. Give me cookie, got your cookie. Give me cookie, got your cookie. I have that. Oh, look at that. Got to take my tourniquet out of it, but there we go. Nick Miller. Love New Girl. It's not about, I don't think it's about any of this. I think it's about him taking his frustrations out. He doesn't understand it yet either, probably. But if he is really working hard on trying to secure employment, I think playing video games all day, every day probably isn't going to solve that problem. There's a lot more than just the bagel going on here. I think that the bagel and the dipping is like it's symbolic. But if anything in this situation where he's unemployed and he's just playing video games all day, I would expect the ire to be reversed, though. Normally in this kind of situation, it would be the employed person getting frustrated at the unemployed person and starting to nitpick all the little things that they do. But that's not the case. It's just him. Maybe it's an idle hands thing. Maybe if it's an idle hands situation and like you just start looking for problems. People who look for problems will always find them. People who seek to be offended will always be offended. Maybe he's just that way. But they're young. They're living together for the first time. So it's just something you learn. I just don't think it's about the bagel. I think it's about much more than that. But OP's asking if she's the asshole for she's just trying to eat a goddamn bagel. That's it. No, OP, you're not the asshole. Eat your bagel however you want to eat your freaking bagel. Oh, Stephanie, you might have a good point there. Is it a control thing? Ryan, the reaction to her buying 2 cream cheese containers was about as cringe as it gets. Yes, he got pissed about it. How dare you? How dare you? Which I think is the telltale sign that it's really not about the cream cheese. It's just, he's going to be pissed at no matter what she does here. And maybe that's an inferiority thing because he is unemployed. But if that was the case, I would think that he'd be trying harder. But maybe, I mean, we can go as deep as we want with this, but maybe he's in this situation where he feels powerless to get a job because he doesn't have the experience that he feels like he needs to get the kind of job that he wants. And because he's paralyzed, he just goes into default video game playing mode. It's possible. And they're young. So, and Jessica says, I'd buy 2 and double dip in both. Landry, we don't know if he eats cream cheese. Maybe he doesn't. Well, she bought him one, so apparently he does. There's that episode of New Girl where Winston gets the gig at the radio station, and he's looking to get back at his boss for being a d-bag, and he dips his boys in his boss's shakes, like dunks them in. You want to talk about some double dipping? There we go. Good gravy. He's jealous that she has a job, Paul. Yeah, that's it. That's a possible path here. I think he might be frustrated about a lot of different things and just taking it out on this one isolated thing. Or he's just got a really weird, not weird, I don't want to say weird, but he has an OCD thing about dipping. It's just not even double dipping, dude. It's not even double dipping. Good gravy. The milkshakes. Yes, Tasha. I put my boys in your shakes. Okay. Well, OP, no. Not on the ascon scale. Just enjoy your freaking bagel. And if your boy here continues to give you shit about just trying to eat your damn bagel, it's not like he's contributing a lot right now. You can you put a timeline on this and be like, okay, I'm going to give you 30 days to get a job or to at least get interviews. And if you don't do that, I'm going to sit in this kitchen and I'm going to double dip a bagel, like truly double dip, not how I normally do it, which is break a piece off and scoop. I'm going to double dip right in front of you until you get a job. Pain creates change, man. At least you know what triggers him now. At least you know. Take it with you and dip at work. Yeah, I mean, you could just eat it on the way to work. It's kind of hard to hold cream cheese and a bagel and dip while you're driving, though, huh? Brittany says, if anyone made me spend that much time explaining why I ate the way I did, I'd boot him and save my money. There you go. Yeah, Lisa, a lot of people voted for Care Bears today. Care Bears was the clear winner, or the zero cares bears. The no cares bears. All right. Before we move to the next one here, so Stitches, not the Shawn Mendes song. Stitches, like TikTok, Stitches. As a video guy, I have a really big problem with the microphones on phones. When I try to record with like just my phone, because I'm used to this kind of setup, this is my benchmark for audio quality. So whenever I record with my phone for something for you guys on TikTok, and then listen back to it, I'm like, this is straight garbage. I hate it. So, we've done a couple of things, but I've always had this plan of trying to upgrade the audio quality for anything I have to do with the phone. So I finally got it figured out, and now I can use one of my wireless lav mic kits and run it into my phone. So it's a one. Oh, it's a one. Now we've got high quality audio for the phone, and I can do all kinds of Stitches and phone driven stuff. So yeah, I'm all about it. We're going to start doing a lot more of that kind of thing. I don't know what I've just done on my phone there. There we go. We're going to start doing a lot more of that. So with that in mind, please keep tagging us, or if you're not doing it yet, start tagging us in other story posts from other creators that you would like us to respond to, whether it's a Stitch or a duet or whatever. We have the ability to do a lot more of that now, and I'm going to start lumping it in with the production batches that I do typically on Sunday nights. So we'll pick a handful of them and go ahead and do some Stitches. So rock it out. Let's do this. Let's do this. Doritos and cream cheese, Crystal? You know, I may feel weird about that, but the nacho cheese Doritos crushed up in, what's the word I'm looking for? Holy crap. It is a dairy product, comes in a tub, cottage cheese. Nacho cheese Doritos in cottage cheese are so good. So good. Sunshine, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Bagel, cream cheese, and bacon. Carl, are you asking if I dance? Hey, Deb Rebel, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Carl, my version of dancing has been best described as a man with a broken hip trying to move quickly. And that's probably the most accurate thing. I'm one of those guys that, you know, at one point in my life thought I could dance, so I just let it all go, and then figured out that I really can't, and it's just a lot of really odd movements. So, but I do. I mean, I attempt it sometimes. I dance to a lot of Disney songs while holding my toddler, and she enjoys it. She thinks I'm a great dancer, and she's a musical kid. So I have some untapped musical talent, and I grew up playing trumpet, and I play guitar, I play a little bit of piano, but I've got rhythm. Like it's in my bones. So Navy Thunder was born with that as well, and she can clap on beat, she can hum melodies, she will dance to the beat, and just loves music. She is an absolute music lover. Joe, thank you so much for the finger heart. Leanne, thank you. Oh, Leanne, remember the storm you said, what? What are you saying what about? I don't understand. Brandy, thank you for the tiny diny. And Deb, thank you for the nachos. Appreciate that. Healthy excuse to eat chips. Doritos and guac, yeah. Yeah. Curious how we came up with the Navy name? Navy. So there's actually another Navy here where we're at, and of the 5,000 things that I do, being a photographer is actually one of them. I do it less now because in my position in the agency, I just don't do that much photography, and we've got someone else on the team, Jesse, who's a badass photographer. So any kind of client need for photography, I just don't do anymore. I do video stuff, but not photo. But Navy, we knew these two sisters, or know these two sisters, Navy and Jade, and I actually did Navy's senior photos, and they're the only senior photos that I've ever done, and she's a beautiful girl, and the photos were awesome. It was a fun project, but we loved their names so much that Candy Thunder said that if we ever had twin girls or two girls, that we'd name them Navy and Jade. So when we found out that we were able to have a girl, we named her Navy, and paired with Thunder, it's just thinking cool. And she's the kind of adorable that can pull it off too, so it works. Kimmy, thank you for the finger heart. Trini, thank you so much for the panda. Let me make sure I'm working my way down here. Crazy since lockdown, love the name, and thank you for the shirt, love. Alex, thank you for the goggles, appreciate that. Faith Kreger says, I give great advice. I must have had great parents. I do. My parents are awesome. We saw them last night, actually. So Ava, one of our teens, was having her NJHS induction ceremony last night, and Navy Thunder is almost 2. So that's like the age where you cannot expect them to sit in an auditorium for some kind of ceremony and not be running all over the place and crazy loud. So Navy hung out with Grammy and Papa for a little while. Heather, thank you for the hat and mustache. I appreciate that. Pesty said you named your cat Dusty. Was that before or after following Dusty Thunder here? I hope it's after. I hope you named your cat after me, because that would be awesome. Story of my life. Thank you for the chilies. I appreciate that, man. Here comes the thunder. Maybe it's a really gassy cat. That would make sense. There comes the thunder. Heidi, good evening. It is very good to see you all here. We've gone through a couple of stories. We've got a few more to go here. The last note that we were just talking about was about stitches. So if you see other videos that you really think it would be cool to see me do a response video to, I now have that capability without it being garbage audio. Heather, your first cat was named Dusty, but that was in 1974. I'll take it. Queen Stephanie, thank you for the big love. Appreciate that. Michelle, thank you for the March. Look at that. Oh, man. We're so close to spring. It's going to snow here tomorrow or Friday, but we're just getting so close. Michelle, thank you for the chilies. Appreciate that. So here's a funny thing, and I think we talked about this internally a couple of days ago, but I go by Dustin most of the time, and this might be in podcast part 2 or maybe even part 1. Can't remember, but we talked about it. For the longest time, I was adamantly opposed to the name Dusty. And whenever somebody called me Dusty, my response was, I'm not a toddler and I'm not a cowboy. So the fact that I chose the name Dusty to go with for this channel is hilarious. And likewise, Candy's name is Candace, and she, in normal day-to-day life, detests the name Candy. But for her character name for this, Candy, it's just immediately acceptable. And I never, it's like, it's just the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Dusty and Candy. Anyway, that may mean absolutely nothing. I just think it's interesting. We're getting snow on Friday, yes, TikToker. And no, we're in Southwest Missouri. Oof. But it was 70 degrees yesterday, close to 70 today. Yeah. Snowed here in Idaho. Man, weather's so crazy right now. It's so volatile. Okay, I've got a good one for you. Did you guys see the post that we had about the gal whose whose husband was deployed and he cheated on her, but the roommate fed her all kinds of evidence of this. You remember that post from a couple days ago? Do you remember? Because I have an update for it. I'm getting ready to read it for you. Missouri does have all 4 in one day. You're right. All 4 seasons. Okay. So you guys know this story. So OP reached back out to us with some clarifications. So I'm going to read that to you here, but that's spill the tea, Kendall says. Well, it's piping hot. If I spill it, I'm going to burn my lap. Okay. This is the update on the Am I the Astronaut for divorcing my husband? We posted this like 2 days ago, I think. Okay. OP says, I appreciate many of the kind comments from the video. I feel like there wasn't a lot of clarity, so let me help. His mother constantly blames me to this day for the reason why her son and I didn't work out, and that's all I hear from his side of the family, that it's my fault. He's depressed and I should have worked it out with him. Just all of the gasoline that shitty mothers give their narcissistic sons to make them feel better. That pretty well sums up everything right there. Also, all of this happened right before my son even turned a year old. Not every woman snaps right back to how they were pre-baby, and I was supposed to be recovering. Anyway, for those that were in the comments asking if me and the roommate got together, the answer is no, mainly because he likes the same body parts I do. Yeah. He was just a really good guy that loved home-cooked meals, and I'm the type of person that would cook for all of his friends. Yes, we are still friends. Always remember, ladies, feed a man and feed him well, and he will do anything. We're like horses, you know. Just got to hobble us and feed us well, and we'll be your best friend for life. Anyway, he introduced me to one of his friends, who introduced me to another one of his friends that was single. I am currently with his friend, and we have been married for almost 4 years, and we have 3 kids together. Oh, wow. He raises my son as his own and treats us like we are the center of his universe. Well, I didn't realize this was this long ago, but crazy. Another thing I wanted to address for those saying I should have went to his COC. Trust and believe I wanted to, but I had to look out for my child. And the last thing I wanted to do was ruin his father's career because he was an idiot. Understandable. And I think a lot of people address that in comments as well, that, you know, he could be reprimanded, get demoted, get a pay cut, even kicked out because of the infidelity. But they're, as a family member and as a child, you would obviously be harmed for that too. So I understand not doing that. At the end of the day, I got a man who loves me. I essentially have full custody of my kid because he doesn't see him or make any effort to genuinely be in his life, and he gets to do whatever and play the poor victim role. Every relationship that he's been in after me has failed, which makes me, unstable internet connection. What is going on? I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and try to pause a couple of other programs, free up some resources here. Sorry. We've been having internet issues here. Also, I think TikTok is having issues lately, so there's that. I don't know that I can kill anything else there. Okay. There we go. So sorry if we get laggy here, but I did get the message that we had an unstable connection. Every relationship that he's been in after me has failed, which makes my little insides feel amazing. And it just gives me a little bit of satisfaction when his family will call and try to talk to him or visit him, and I let them, which goes against the "she keeps my son from me" narrative. I understand that I could have destroyed his career, but what would that get me? Someone who's a deadbeat who doesn't want to work? Instead, I get to be with my son 24/7 and let him play Father of the Year around Father's Day and Christmas, but I had a shitty family member, and my son will learn from himself exactly who his father is without any help from me, and that's enough karma if I've ever heard it. I don't want to raise my son to hate his father. My son will realize his father's character in due time. It's not up to me to paint a picture of him in my son's eyes. The only thing that is my job is to love him and show him that I am here. Thank you, Dusty, for sharing my story, and thank you to your followers and for their kind words and support. Well, look at that. OP, thank you for sharing your story with us, and thank you so much for the update here. This is all very useful information, and parenting parenting when you split is tough. I think she hit the nail on the head. It's not her job to shape her child's opinion of his father. Kids will make those determinations on their own one day. It's also tough, I think, when you're in her shoes, you're in the other parent's shoes, where you've got another parent that's not as involved. You may feel underappreciated, but same thing. Like, the kids will figure it out one day. One day the kids will realize like how much you did and how much effort you put forth in comparison, and they will get it someday. So there's no need to try to shape anybody's opinion. You just have to trust that they understand and appreciate it someday. And then and then they become teenagers and they hate you for a while. And you're like, I hope they figure it out someday. I hope someday they love me and remember they love me. Teenage years are tough. Sonia, thank you for the shirt, love. I appreciate that. Got my Zero Cares Bears on today. It was voted on in the story here on TikTok and on Insta and Facebook. And the Cares Bears won. Zero Cares Bears. Heather, thank you for the corn. Appreciate that. Much respect to OP for not running his name through the mud for his child's sake. For the child's sake. Yeah, agreed. And I know that takes some self-control because, we all have opinions. But making sure that we keep those opinions to ourselves and let kids make their own determinations is really important. Becra, how old are my kids? We're a blended family. And we have a 20, 2 13s, a 12, and an almost 2. We've got 5. Hey, Casey, you finally made it to a live. Welcome. Jesse, thank you so much for the fire. 7 Moons Astrology, thank you for the cat paws. Appreciate that. This shirt, the Zero Cares Bears, is a 9-line apparel shirt, and it is a limited design, so I don't know if it's something they have available right now, but if you follow them and subscribe to their updates for limited designs, they come out with so many cool limited time designs. It is amazing. It is amazing. I'm a big fan. Very, very big fan. Layla, hello from England. Samantha says, I'm so afraid my daughter will be becoming a teenager. I am not wired to be able to communicate with teenage girls. I'm just not. I don't have the patience for it. And also, every response being an eye roll from them, I'm like, can you not control them? Like, you learn self-control later on in life, apparently. And apparently it's just, it's right there for girls, where I understand they're going through a period where they don't have complete control over emotions and their reactions. But if they can control it in school and in front of teachers, I know they can control it at home. I just have to take a deep breath and just try to keep my mouth shut sometimes. A lot of times. Oh, 7 Moons, thank you so much for the roses. Appreciate that, Ellen. Thank you for the mic. Story of my life. Story of my life. Make me home. The parody video of that is so freaking funny. It pops into my head every time I see or hear that. Every time I hear that, hear those words or the song. 7 Moons, thank you for the weights. Appreciate that. And the GGs. Yeah, we don't have a lot of gaming going on here, but I'll take that GG nonetheless. Stephanie, thank you so much for Piper the Pie. Piper no piping? Piper no pieing. 7 Moons, thank you for the corn. And story of my life, thank you for the music. Appreciate that. Ellen, thank you for the mic. I might have said that already, but I lost my place and had to go back. Had to go right back. Casey, thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm sure I was a little asshole as a teenager too. I'm sure of it. And I'm sure, the payback that I'm getting now, I deserve every bit of it. I know that. I kind of hit my party phase around like 16 to 18. That was the beginning of a party phase for me. And I know for a fact that I probably came home smelling of several party favors. And at the time I thought it was funny because I'm like, oh, my parents have no idea. I can pull this off. Watch this. Go stand in the kitchen and just talk to them for 30 minutes. Now I know from talking to them that they were very much aware, and probably had their own party favors that they were just laughing at me about. Anyone watch Better Things, the episode where the girls get their own back on their dad? No, I haven't seen Better Things. We as parents pay for our raising. Yep. Brittany, we're going to be on live until close to 6 tonight. However, I will tell you that when I was recording this, that was an awkward long pause. Sorry, I was reading. Long pause. Whenever I was recording this last batch of content, which I didn't do on Sunday night, I think I did it Monday night or last night. I can't remember. There was some crazy weather going through Sunday night, so did not record that night. But I did something crazy, and I was like, you know what? While I'm recording content this time, I'm going to go ahead and go live on YouTube. And I did. So while I was recording the new batch of content there in the absolute middle of the night, I mean, it was like midnight to like 1:30 a.m., went live there. So if you happen to be a night owl like me, and happen to be someone around YouTube, you might get a notification. If you're not subscribed there already, make sure you go subscribe so you can get that notification if I end up going live there. I am Central Standard Time. Doop-a-doo. Oh, Rach sent her audio for the ghost story. Sweet. Okay, you sent the audio. Cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for all the love. I appreciate that. Love from Ireland. Very nice, Fiona. You're a psychic medium. We may have to consult you on some of these stories here. Timothy, this shirt is from 9 Line Apparel, and it is a limited design. They do limited time runs on their limited design, but you can go subscribe for updates on limited designs, and that's the way that I end up getting my hands on all the cool stuff. Involuntary night owl. I feel that sometimes, but in the middle of the night is like my time to do things that require me to focus up. So creating videos for the normal TikTok post, that's a middle of the night thing because I've got to just focus in on it 100%. There's a lot of strategy work that I end up having to do that is middle of the night stuff. And then also if I'm ever going to, play Hogwarts Legacy or something, that is middle of the night stuff. Yeah. Kayla, I did. Check it. It is summer mode activated here. And it is a little chilly right now. I think I did it too soon, but apparently it makes me look younger. And, this was the first time I have ever had long hair. So for the past, 6 months, it's the first time ever. So I didn't hate it, and I'm planning on doing it again for fall and winter. So we'll go through a cycle of different hairstyles here. When do I sleep? I typically sleep between the hours of like 2 and 6:30 or 2:30, 2:30, 6:30, something like that. I get 4 to 5 hours. It's plenty. Yes, I play Hogwarts Legacy, Kara. Heck yes. And my character's name is Dusty Thunder, of course. He has long hair, though. This is not a new merch shirt. Wretched. This is from 9 Line Apparel. We haven't released new merch yet. We did talk about it a little bit because we have a rebrand coming out. But this one is from 9 Line. Sarah, you sleep 8 to 14 hours. That's a lot. So I've got this thing where if Kayla, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Beer Today. Hey, there's Beer Today. He's been one of our podcast guests and also another one of my brother-in-laws here. Still waiting on HGL to drop for Switch. Oh, you've got a PC, Beer Today? That's the way to go here, man. That is the way to go. The haircut is very Ricky Gervais. I heard, oh gosh, where was it? It's in the past 24 hours. I saw a comment that somebody said I looked like the American Lumberjack version of Ricky Gervais. Like I've heard Ricky Gervais before. I have not heard the American Lumberjack version. Erica Lee, I've lost like 20-ish pounds in the past probably 6 months too, but I think I lost about 10 pounds of hair whenever I got it cut off. I've got some thick hair and I have a whole lot of it. So whenever I saw the pile of hair laying on the ground, there was my pile, and then the, half a week's worth of everyone else that had got their hair cut was about a quarter of the size of just my hair. So I have a shit ton of hair. Not at the moment, but in general. Beer Today, get you a stream deck. Ryan says, yep. That you could do. You need to, Beer Today, you just need to come test drive it on the PC over at the Thunder House and see if you like it. I freaking love it. Freaking love it. Yachty says, Team Selena or Team Haley. I'm not that cool. I'm not cool enough to have opinions on that kind of stuff. Lulu, OMG Dusty Thunder live. Love from Cornwall, UK. So good to see you. Rach, your hair's 28 inches long. That's crazy. Tony says Team Selena, by the way. I don't know what any of that is about. I'm sure my daughters could fill me in if they could stop rolling their eyes at me. Erica Lee, thank you so much. Appreciate that. A lot of Selena love going on here. Oh, this drama is not of my generation. There you go. I'm aged out of that drama. Selena, or you're wrong, Kendall says. Selena, or you're the asshole. Is that a mermaid cup? No, it's my KC Chiefs cup there. Hey, yeah, Annie in London, welcome. Welcome. Okay, I'm officially Team Selena now. I don't even know what's going on, but Team Selena. I'm sure Tony can fill me in after the stream, or the girls can fill me in when I get home. Yeah. Is Dusty Thunder my real name or my corn name? Dusty Thunder is my character name for this, but it is really, really close to my real name. And I think we've talked about that on live before, but I don't come right out and say it on TikTok. If you follow the breadcrumbs on Insta, where we post a lot of behind the scenes stuff, it's pretty easy to find there. It's easy to find in a lot of places. We just Easter egg it instead of coming out and saying it. It's a cool name too, though. It's equally as cool. All right, we ready to jump into another story, are we? Everybody's generation, she's taking meds for a kidney transplant, and they made fun of her for real? That's the story? Yeah. Why are humans garbage? Oh, wait, so Haley is, okay. Haley's making fun of Selena for gaining weight because of the medicine she's taking? I don't know the whole story. I just know Team Selena is the right choice. You know what? Even if I didn't know the story, I'd be Team Selena. Haley's bullying Selena. Ever since the Witches of Waverly Place, right? There we go. Look, I get points. I get points for knowing something that's not old man stuff. Just more from the Haley drama. There's an Am I the Asshole post. We'll make a Selena Haley thing. I'm game. Let's do it. Let's do that. They're body shaming TF out of her. That sucks. Wizards of Waverly Place. I can't remember. Oh, I think it was my oldest, who's now 20, but I think he was into Selena whenever Wizards of Waverly Place was on. I think he was into her. That's funny. Sorry, dude, if you're seeing this. I didn't call you out by name. All right, this one is a follower submission. This one is, am I the thunderhole for wanting help with our child and wanting to focus on my work? My husband and I have been together for 11 years, married 4 years, and we have a 2-year-old daughter. She is a great toddler, and I wouldn't trade her for anything. However, she enjoys being attached to my hip at all times, as any child would be to their mom. I'm a painter and a stay-at-home mom, trying to start my business, and it's very hard to focus with a toddler climbing over a couch trying to be with you while you're working. My studio is in a basement along with her play area. Now, my husband works part-time nights, which means he leaves at 6 p.m. and either comes home at 11 p.m. or 3 a.m. And during the summer, he has a part-time day job. He claims the winter to be his vacation from that job, and he needs him time. Fine, okay. So I do all the cleaning and dishes, and he cooks lunch when he gets up. However, no matter what time he comes home, he has a hard time falling asleep because he claims he can't get tired right away when he gets home and stays up on his phone playing games for an extra 2 hours. He doesn't see the big deal of him staying in bed until 12 p.m. every day while I take care of our child from 7:30 to 12 by myself. He told me I just need to stop working while she is awake and only work during her nap and after she goes to bed at 9. So I only get to do what I need to do for at least 4 hours a day or sacrifice more sleep to get more work done. Now I don't have the issue of when he gets home at 3 a.m. and needs to sleep. sleep in, but on his short 11 p.m. nights, that's when I feel he should get up with me at 7:30 and help our child. Am I the ascon for wanting help with our child and wanting to focus on my work? Update. He also has weekends off and sleeps in until 12 p.m. on them too. Don't get me wrong, he's a great father when he's awake, but I feel he doesn't take my mental health or physical health and career choice seriously anymore. Though we have been together since high school, and I made it clear to him then I will always be an artist and it will be my career. It's getting to the point where our relationship is in trouble, even though he doesn't see a problem happening. Only me overreacting and needing to relax more. Okay, so I've got to backtrack a little bit and try to get this schedule straight here. So he works till either, okay, so he leaves at 6 p.m. It's either 6 to 11 or 6 to 3 a.m. And during summer, he has a part-time day job too. So we're not in that period right now. I think we're just addressing the winter side of things. So it's either 6 to 11 or 6 to 3. And she's got the baby pretty much during the day. So he's there during the day. He's just not jumping in until noon. Okay. And he said that she needs to stop working while she's awake and only work during her nap and after she goes to bed at night. But he could jump in and help. And I think this is a common thing that we see. Number one, I think he's not showing respect for her job. He's treating her painter job like a hobby and not a job. But she needs to treat it like a job and wants to treat it like a job. But he's not allowing her to. He's treating it like a hobby, which sucks. I get him, when he comes home needing some time to unwind, 2 hours for an extra 2 hours, to get yourself into wind down mode. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But I also think that he is fully capable of getting up and helping during the morning. Even if he gets home at 11 and is up for 2 hours, so it's 1 and he still sleeps till noon, 11 hours of sleep, or 3 a.m. and is asleep till noon. I don't know, man. I think as a parent, you just have to accept that you're going to get less sleep. I don't know of anybody that would disagree with that, but let me know what you think. As a parent, do you just accept that you're going to get less sleep? I think you also have to accept that it is a team effort thing, especially if you're both working. That's where the big problem comes in here, is that he's not viewing her as working. He's viewing her as having a hobby. Borna Andric, Croatia loves me. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So when does she get to sleep in? She doesn't. And this is a very common dude thing in all the stories that we read. This is the common scenario where he probably feels like, since he's the only one that works a real job, that he gets to sleep in and gets the me time and gets this, not respecting her painting career as a real job, and also not respecting the care that she's giving to the child as work too. That is work. I mean, we've adjusted our schedule a little bit. So I've got like one half day, my half day home with Navy, where I pick her up from school and then go home with her, to give Candy Thunder more time here in the office with the team was yesterday. So Tuesday afternoons, and it is work. How old is her kid? 2 years old. That's like the most amount of work a kid can be right at that age. They're into everything. They're everywhere. Whenever they get cranky for whatever reason, whether they're tired or hungry or just don't feel good, they're completely inconsolable. You cannot do anything else during that time. You just can't. So he's capable of stepping up. He's just choosing not to. And that sucks. I think that's a breakdown of the teamwork approach, and it shows a lack of respect on his part for her job and for the time that she's spending. caring for the child and also for any me time that she might have, which painting I don't view as me time. I don't view her painting as me time for her. He probably does because he looks at it as a hobby. But if that's a job to her, then she needs time to do her job. And then she also needs equal me time there too. At least the ability to request it and plan it and him help facilitate it. If he works part-time, OP must be paying the bills. I think they both are. I think they're both contributing, but her art as a job, I mean, if art is her career, then she's selling paintings. And painting takes time. You've got to be able to allocate time into there. Allie said, "Did I miss my story? What was the title of your story?" And we'll check it out. Chrissy, number one reason why we didn't have another child, it's work. It is so much work. And, even for Candy Thunder and I, we're a blended family. And whenever we made the decision that we were going to pursue IVF to have what ended up being Navy, it was, look, we're resetting the clock here. And our kids were 10 at that time when we began that journey. Our youngest was 10. And we knew we were going to be cashing in our freedom for a while. I think enough time went by to where we didn't realize how much freedom we would be cashing in. And then at that point, now we're like, oh my God, what have we gotten ourselves into? This is crazy. It is a ton of work. There's just a lack of respect here. I think, if painting is her career, then she's got to be allowed to do it. She's got to be allowed to have her time, her time, not painting, because that's her job. There's got to be a step up here. There just has to be. Finding it hard to forgive my mother-in-law. We will check it out here. We're going to get through a few of them here. Let me see if it's on the list today. Not saying it yet. It may also be batched in for production for the normal recordings. So we've got the cream cheese bagel one, keeping the birth of my daughter a secret. Telling my best friend she's wrong for sleeping with her summer fling. Yeah, I don't see it on this list. So, Allie, it is either batched in for production or we haven't planned it out yet. And we get a lot of them. I know I talked about it last time about including the subreddit as the first stop for follower submissions, and we need to put that on the form to make sure that everybody agrees to that, or make it optional, because I'd really like to start doing that, because there are a lot of follower submissions just never see the light of day because there's so many of them, and we can obviously only create so many videos and only do so many lives and only go over so many of them, but that would at least allow them to be seen and allow feedback to start on them. So we just need to push on that. We need to make it happen. The emotional load on this mom is not sustainable, Kendall says. This will only get worse with no change. I agree with this, and I think me time is essential, and you have to force yourself to plan me time, but she's going to have to force her husband to allow that. But she can be proactive about it and say, okay, here's the schedule. You are going to jump in and be with the bebe from this time to this time so that I can work. And by work, I mean paint, because we sell those for money to pay bills. And then on this day at this time, I'm doing this me thing. I think she could be proactive and do this. Leo, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Alex, thank you for the donut. Karen, thank you for the cat paws. Appreciate that. Oh, now I'm just on the wrong story. I've done scrolling and now I'm lost. So, the question here was, am I the ascon for wanting help with our child and wanting to focus on my work? No, not at all. And if anything, you may have to communicate that more clear and communicate that you guys are equals in this relationship, and you need to be equals with how you approach work here too. You've got to be allowed time to work, which means that he's got to step up and take care of the bebe for a while. Well, they could put the child in daycare. Yeah, TikToker, you're right. He could pay it. That's probably a teamwork approach there too. Deb, I haven't had me time in 30 years. Oh, there's a corgi shaking its booty on my screen here. Thank you so much for that, Angel. Appreciate that. Star Sapphire says, I told my boyfriend about you, told him I sent you a story, and he told me I should also put it on Reddit. Yeah. Well, so we've got the Dusty Thunder subreddit, and you could use Linktree, link in bio to get there. I think it's on there, but you can post it straight there too. And that is another way to get a story in front of us. Otherwise, you can submit your story using the Linktree link in bio. There's a submit story button. I would say just go straight to reddit-sedit.com, but sometime soon-ish, the domain of our website is going to change as we roll out the Dusty Thunder brand. So you can still go to reddit-sedit.com. It'll redirect you to the new site once we have that up. So, OP, you're probably going to have to strengthen your communication and be proactive and just make things happen. That's what I'm thinking here. And if he bucks against it at all, I mean, he's making the choice to say that his sleep time and his me time are more important than yours. Also, he's saying that his work is more important than yours. And you may have to point out that imbalance to him and remind him that painting is a job for you. And you have to be allowed time to do your job just like he's allowed time to do his. And schedule time for it. Being proactive with scheduling is probably something that's going to be really helpful for you. If you schedule yourself shifts, that's really hard to say, shifts, for work, like start using Google Calendar and invite him to events and make sure that he sees when you've scheduled yourself some shifts and schedule him for baby time during that. Yeah. Love the Care Bear shirt. Can you tell us where you got it? Yeah, this is from 9 Line Apparel. 9 Line. Kendall says you have to approach it like a problem to be solved instead of attacking him. Agreed. This is one of those things where I'm a huge believer in, if you're just bringing me problems, that's a problem. If you're bringing me a problem with an idea of how to fix it, now we're talking. Because you're showing effort at that point and making it easy to fix. If somebody's just dumping a problem in my lap, it's just stress, right? Because then it's just crap. Now it's on me to fix it. But if somebody says, here's what's going on, and I think we can do this, awesome. I think that's great. And in this case, I think that's what you need to do. You need to make it as easy as possible to fix. Make it turnkey. Make it easy for him to say, cool. And then you get all the things that you need without the fight there. He may buck against it, and Kendall, like you're saying here, ask what solutions might work for him. I think it's a great idea too. Present yours though. Like presenting a turnkey solution is, if you have that ability to create that, is huge. Make it easy. Make it easy to fix it. Definitely. Angel Demo says, definitely do scheduling everything, because me and my husband do that since I do son's ABA therapy. Yeah. Fenja with the galaxy. Thank you. And Alex with the pizza. Heck yeah. So are we going with Astronaut or Thunderhole? Angel, you know what? I've kind of bounced back and forth here lately. I've done both. I've done Astronaut and Thunderhole. Whatever feels right, you know. Gabrielle, you're right. You would think you would want her to paint more to bring in more income. It sure feels like he's treating it like a hobby. Like playing games on his phone is the same thing as her painting, and that sucks. Thank you, Penny, for the football helmet. Appreciate that. Jarby says, simple. Either he helps with the care or you pay someone else to take care of the child. Not hard. Even if it is a babysitter that comes in and helps take care of the child while you're there working. I mean, you'd have to wall yourself off and go into your studio and lock the door, or not lock it, but shut the door. I have my home office. Navy Thunder does not like it when I go in my office and shut the door. If I have to take a call, or if I have to record a video or do something that requires me to shut the door to my home office, she will come beat on the door. She does not like me to be in there without her. She loves to be in there with me. It just doesn't like it whenever they know you're like right there. That's tough. So you can take the child to daycare, and for her, there's a 2-day per week program that we use. That's like a half day, and that gives us the opportunity to get more stuff done. Angel, maybe a second scale. Like you can be a Thunderhole for petty and out of the world astronaut for bad. Yeah, that's possible. I think the ascon scale is going to stay pretty much what it is. It's going to look different. They're going to be different planets assigned to the ascon levels now. And of course, ascon 1's got to be Uranus. It's got to be. It's like a kid with getting a dog. You want it to take care of it to the dad. Shannon, that makes sense. Yeah. It's like, hey, you helped make this kid. Now you got to take care of it. Okay. Get your pooper scooper. Let's go. Get the leash. Come on now. All right. The last line on here is getting to the point where our relationship is in trouble, even though he doesn't see a problem happening. Only me overreacting and needing to relax more. I really, really believe that if you bring a solution to the table, bring a turnkey solution to the table and have a plan on how to fix things, like that's going to mean a lot. He's obviously being a brozo about a lot of things, and maybe he realizes it, maybe he doesn't, but you're going to have to clarify everything for him. What's worked to you? The need for balance in here, the need for him to step up. You're gonna have to clarify it. You hate it when people say they're babysitting their own kids. Yeah, that sucks. It's no, yeah. What's it like finding success on social media? Do you still have a day job, or is this now my number one? I don't know that we've found it yet, man. I don't know. It's a journey. It's definitely a journey. I can tell you that we're nowhere near this being our main gig. We run a marketing agency. So what we've done instead of keeping this completely separate is actually pull our team in, and we treat the Dusty Thunder stuff like it's another client for the agency now. So we pull them in to help with facilitating a lot of things, which is where you hear a lot more names involved now, because we've pulled them in on evaluating stories and creating assets, and they helped create the new Dusty Thunder theme. And the video assets, which you guys haven't seen yet, are badass, and you'll get to see those at some point here soon too. But it is still a long, long, long way from being our number one focus. This is still a side hustle for us. So, success, like followers, don't necessarily mean money. Let me just rephrase that to say followers don't mean money. It's not like that. I mean, you can grow your base and get in front of a lot more people. And yes, we're bringing value. I feel like we're providing some good by giving feedback and trying to help people find solutions. But that job doesn't pay very well. So the YouTube side of things pays much better, obviously, because they run ads there. So we have to make sure that we're growing multiple places at the same time to make sure we can keep doing this and do more of it as we go. So right now we're just trying to build everything up to help maximize it so we can do more. Keep doing it and do more. Keep doing it and do more. Star Sapphire, thank you so much for the garland headpiece. Appreciate that. And the tiny diny. Thank you. Love only with them cool dancing, running stars, holding hearts. I don't know what they're doing there, but they're cool. I like them. I like some. Star Sapphire with the confetti. Thank you so much. And with the wide-eye worsty there as well. Thank you. Stephanie says, my ex used to view watching our kids as babysitting. He wouldn't even change diapers after you had your gallbladder out. Screw that. That sucks. Like, be worth something. You know what I mean? Like there shouldn't be anything that's off limits. It should be a 50-50 thing. And it's tough. That's obviously tough, but I think you got to get your hands dirty as a parent. You just do. You just do's got to do it. It would be nice if she had a partner to help her solve the issue. That would be cool. And he might jump in. You know what? When she does that, when she has this conversation, he could surprise us all and be like, you know what? I didn't realize, but now that you say that, yeah, I didn't view your painting as your job. And I understand that you need to work just like I need to work. And it could be a light bulb moment. Let's hope it is. I think it's just going to be a lot more likely if she brings a solution to the table. Cat Mom, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're a big fan. Thank you. Must have been, Zaylin must have been through the roof when Casey won the Super Bowl. Oh yeah. Abso-friggin-lutely. It was, my armpits are sweating just thinking about it. It was a stressful game. Every Chiefs game is a stressful game. Every game. I'm pretty sure I have ulcers named Patrick and Travis. Like every Chiefs game is just like a butt pucker. You can like see a little pucker in the seat when you get up from it at the end of the game. It's just so stressful every time. But my God, is it entertaining. It is exciting. Jenna Lee, yes, you got the stream. Welcome. We're going to go for, let's see, we got 2 more stories here. So I guess I better get on my horse here. We typically wrap up around 6, and we'll plan on doing the same there. Let me get a swig of a beverage here. Unstable internet connection again. Cool. So we may lag out for just a second. Sorry about that. Let me grab a drink here real quick. Went down the wrong pipe. That's not helpful. It's all a partnership. My husband does baths, diapers, doctor's appointment. We both made them babies. I agree with that approach. Agree with it. I'm to the point where, like, I wish I could be home more. And Navy Thunder's hard work, like stressful hard work, but I wish I could be there more. And I was, right after she was born, I was able to be there. We basically had the team built up to run things without us for a little while. So I got some really good quality time right after she was born, and then had to go back in pretty much full time. And it's one of the hardest things. When does it go on YouTube? Sorry, Jessica, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the podcast or normal videos? Videos get posted daily on YouTube. The podcast is a monthly-ish thing, and part 2 just came out with Candy Thunder. Candy Thunder's part 2 came out on this last Sunday, just a couple days ago, and is out on YouTube and all the podcast channels as well. And we also do compilations every Wednesday on YouTube and the podcast channels. So there's all kinds of content there. Also, when I create batches of content, Candy Thunder will kind of pick and choose from it for what ends up getting posted on TikTok. All of the videos get scheduled out to post on YouTube. So you'll see videos there that you'll never see on TikTok. But I think the compilations and the podcast are completely unique for that. It's longer content. If you like to just, put something on and just listen to it while you're doing housework or whatever, a lot of people tell us they like to do that with our content. Then the compilations are really good for that. And the podcast, yes. And the podcast. Have I trimmed my beard? Finja asked. I did. I trimmed it up a little bit right before I got the haircut, but I think it's the short hair in the back. My long winter dew is now gone, and I'm in aerodynamic summer mode, man. Tell you what, I hang my head out the window, and I'm gonna not slow us down at all right now. I am aerodynamic. Yeah, beer today. Fun snowstorm. Oh, up there. Yeah, I thought you were talking about here because we're getting snow here. Friday. Windy. Yeah, some people still do. I just stopped addressing it. Like, whatever. If people think it's a story about me, I mean, I've got my little note on the board here, but so what I do now, instead of doing just as a reminder, the story isn't about me, intro for every time, I just say, hey, I'm Dusty Thunder, and I have another AITA story for you. And I think that's my new way of trying to communicate that it's not a story about me, and I think it works better. And it's a less annoying Care Bears. These are the Zero Cares bears. Actually, they're Zero Cares tactical bears. I am in Central Time. Yes, generally. Yes. Podcast name is same as TikTok. Yes, actually, you could use the Linktree link in our bio on TikTok or anywhere, and it will just use Linktree. It'll get you the link straight into it. Got into the 80s today where I'm at. Nice. Oh, man. I think we got close to 70. Yeah, it's Zero Cares today. How dumb if they think you have that many stories. Yeah, apparently I get myself into a lot of shit, and people are just like, man, this guy lives a lot of drama. Also, he's got a lot of mother-in-laws. How long have I been on? Today, since 4 o'clock. And we'll be wrapping up around 6. I do have 2 stories, though, and I'm getting distracted, so I probably need to jump on and read one. All right, this one is a follower submission that is, am I the astronaut for evicting friends that overstayed their welcome? It all started when my friend, using fake names, Bob, male 42, messaged me asking for a place to stay the night. He had nowhere to go and had lost his job. I had worked with him before and knew him to be hardworking and wouldn't accept handouts, so I thought he wouldn't take advantage of the situation and said yes. He and his wife, female 35, Amy, came to stay. It's another Amy. Should we just do this now? It's Amy. I offered to let them stay rent-free for 3 months at max 6 months. In return, as I had just bought a house, I asked that Bob help with any repairs that popped up and if Amy could help clean. Like I only asked her to do dishes and vacuum every now and then. My house wasn't in bad condition, and the entire time they stayed, only one or two things broke, like he had to change a light bulb I couldn't reach. At the time, I lived with my boyfriend and another roommate, and we all split the other bills. Well, 6 months turned into 9, and my boyfriend dumped me, and roommate lost their job, so all of a sudden bills were all on me, and I was scraping by. Meanwhile, Bob and Amy were eating my food because Bob couldn't find a job that was good enough for him. I felt so bad for Amy because she had 2 jobs just to pay for Bob's child support. Oh. Okay, well, spool these back up, I believe, if it'll work. No, my red flags are like, we're tired, dude. My red flags are just tired. All right, we'll leave them sleeping. I reached my limit when Amy came and told me she was pregnant. I told Bob that they needed to leave and asked that he sign paperwork and get it notarized that he would leave in a month. I was even nice enough and said that I'd given them a couple of weeks more after that, but I needed the paperwork. Well, the next day, Bob came and said his lawyer, I don't know how he could afford one, told him not to sign anything. I, in the end, had to evict him and Amy. The judge gave them 2 weeks to leave. Bob even had the nerve to ask that the eviction not go on their records. Honestly, I don't even think I'm the asshole, but I still feel bad enough that I still feel bad even though it's been like 2 years. Okay, wow. This was a follower submission. OP, by the way, with follower submissions, OP, if you happen to be in the chat here and want to raise your hand and let people know you're here, please do that. You have the ability to do that. Yes, lots of red flags. Lots of short questions here. This one is actually from 9 Line Apparel, and they do a lot of really cool, fun designs like this. Bob needs to go, Kendall says. Yes, red flag confetti. Let's see if it's awake now. Have you had enough time to rest your confetti? There we go. Now our confetti is awake again. Flag's still flying. This sucks. I think one of the things that pissed me off the most about this story was he couldn't find a job that was good enough for him. Like, look, man, if there's nothing, like, it doesn't matter what it is. You start with something, and then that at least creates some income coming in so you can address your responsibilities. And then there's nothing that says you can't try to get something better along the way, but at least you have that job to have something coming in. Holding out, I feel like, is just an excuse. Something that's good enough for him, I don't know. That pisses me off. And forcing his girlfriend, was it his girlfriend or wife? His wife, Amy, had to work 2 jobs just to pay for his child support. Dude. Bob's an asshole. Bob's a big asshole. And then didn't want to leave. They had to get a judge involved. No, I mean, hell, I'm sure there's another side to the story, but based on what OP is telling us here, there's no way in hell that OP is the asshole. OP tried to do something nice. This is what happens when you try to do something nice, right? NTA, don't let anyone move in. There are laws to protect squatters, gives them more rights than you. Yeah. If you do, I think there's got to be some kind of written agreement, right? When you're trying to do something nice, if you let someone come live with you, even if it's for 1 month, get that shit in writing ahead of time. She was planning on 3 months at the beginning and a max 6 months. So definitely get that in writing. It's just too risky. There's too much risk involved. And obviously OP couldn't have foreseen that they would split up with her boyfriend and then the other roommate would lose their job. Like, there's a lot of unforeseen circumstances here, but having some kind of written agreement in the first place could have at least insulated the risk that came with Bob jumping in there. No good deed goes unpunished. You're right. Sante. You are correct, Gabrielle. Same thing. Yeah. No good deed goes unpunished. That's why I just stopped doing them. It's not worth it. I don't want the punishment that comes along with it. I just don't do good deeds anymore. It had to be under 30 days without having to go through eviction. Okay. On your bike, Bob. Can we stop making people like Bob? There's two ways to take that. Cat Mom has a question here. Go for it. We've got about 30 seconds before I dive into the next story here. Actually, I have something to ask you guys, but Cat Mom, go for it. And I'll ask a question of chat while you're prepping your question there. Who finds themselves using the ascon scale on a daily basis now? Who finds themselves when people do something like, oh, that's an ascon 3 move, bro? Is it just a part of life now? Diana, yes, I did. I did get a haircut. I'm in summer mode here. Everybody using the ascon scale on the daily. On the daily. Candy Thunder says I have like a floor of ascon 3. That's just where I'm at all the time, and then I go up from there. So Love only says, especially with my husband, does he do something and you're like, ascon 2, man? And he's like, what are you talking about? And you're like, well, I guess you'll never know. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Cat Mom, back to your question. Any advice on toxic parents who treat you like a black sheep and a slave? What? Toxic parents who treat you like the black sheep. There's bound to be a whole lot more